What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here. As always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. We have some breaking news in the NFL. The New York Giants, the wrong way Wootens of the world, have finally decided to make a decision on here come the judge. They have fired Joe Judge. Joe Judge is no longer the coach of the New York stinking Giants. And I'm actually sad to say that one. I actually really liked him being there and being their coach because he sucked. Let's be clear here. He was awful. He was the worst freaking coach in the NFL. He threw Jason Garrett under the bus, thinking that was going to save his ass, but it didn't do it. It literally did not do it. Jason Garrett has probably got the last laugh right now and probably feels pretty good at this moment. Glad that he's out of freaking New York. You know, it's like Escape from New York. They're literally getting everybody is literally abandoning ship in New York. I don't know who's going to be left as we stand here right now. Yeah, I'm sure Bad Dog's having a nice drink right now as we speak. Definitely, I know his ass is partying. I know Bad Dog is partying right now that Joe Judge is gone. So now, I must say this, because I was sitting here looking around. When you hear about coaches, now coaches are always going to get fired. Teams are always going to think that there's a better guy out there that can do the job, and that the problem is just change the coach. When Brian Flores got fired in Miami, I was sitting here looking at that and saying, okay, it doesn't really make sense, but I get it. But then I look around, and here it is, Joe Judge is still employed by the New York Giants. In some regard, I was happy about it because I looked at it and said New York's never going to win as long as he is the head coach. And as a Cowboy fan, you like that. Now, the thing to worry about is New York looking around trying to get this shit together, and that's where you wonder if they're going to try and go for a guy like Will McClay. But the thing I don't understand is this. It's always been the club that once you are a member of the club, you are always going to get an opportunity for some guys. Like, give you an example. Now, I hope Brian Flores gets a chance. I'd like to see Brian Flores with a better organization because the Miami Dolphins have had issues as long as the current owner has been the owner. And so you want to see him at least give an opportunity with a franchise that knows what they're doing. But as we look around, I think about a guy like Adam Gase. Adam Gase, who was the last coach of the Miami Dolphins before Brian Flores was there, he gets fired after doing a piss poor job. I mean, there's no other way to call it, but it was a piss poor job. But yet he immediately then turns around and then gets a job with the Jets. And you're like, didn't he just fail in Miami? How is he getting a job that quick? You looked at Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly trading away, Shady McCoy for Kiko Alonso, a guy who couldn't stay healthy, and literally deconstructed a team because he didn't want to have any players that might object to the shit that he's doing. He turns around and he gets another job immediately with San Francisco. And I don't understand this. But now, word is that New York is looking for a new GM, and Will McClay is their target. You know, I had done a video earlier about that, and then I had people that were saying, why are you talking about this stuff right now? We are getting ready for the playoffs, which is true. But see, you have to understand that you have to be a 365-day-a-year person when it comes to football. You have to look at every move and everything that happens beyond just today, because everything has ramifications for tomorrow. And if you sit back and say, oh, well, we're not going to think about that until after the season's over, buddy, it's too late. You got to plan ahead. And if people are looking at taking your people, you better damn sight be trying to figure out who's going to replace them or how do you keep them. And that's the problem of a team like the Giants. They've been short-sighted with their moves and not understanding, like in chess. You got to think 3 or 4 moves ahead or you've already lost. I'm here making got a couple of butcher blocks that are on order. Getting these things together while I'm rebuilding the workshop here. It's been a lot of work, and it's been kind of a headache too, especially since Mike's been with his girlfriend, Gina C. But hopefully he'll be back tomorrow because we got a lot of stuff to get out of here. But I tell you, I'm really proud of this. Like when you are starting over, like the New York Giants are right now, that gives you an opportunity to do things a little bit different. And you look back and you see things that you did wrong, things that didn't work well. You look at things that did work well, and you say, okay, that worked well, so I want to keep that. That didn't work worth a damn, so I want to get rid of that. Well, here's what I realized is this is my spot. This is my spot that I love to assemble stuff. You know, I put everything together right here. Whether it's putting together Joe Barty's, or if it's putting, gluing up kitchen cabinets and things, or like this, butcher blocks. This is where I do the majority of my work. So, understanding that we are rebuilding, what can we do better to make the job better? Knowing that I use this spot more than anything else to put stuff together, I learned I need to have the dust collection pipe a little further away, so I have more space to be able to set up the materials. That's one thing I learned. Second thing, make a bigger table, because then you've got more space to be able to assemble the stuff here and make your life easier, because you do have more space. See, now I made this wider, I made it deeper, so that way I can put a full 36 by 36 inch base cabinet on here if it's a corner cabinet, and it's up off the floor. So those are things that I learned. I also learned that I'm a messy mother humper. It's true. I know I make a mess. I'm usually looking like a slob because, I've got my shirts hanging up high. Sometimes, to my wife's chagrin, my pants roll down off my ass because when you get old, you get a different shape. You no longer have an ass. You got an old man ass. And what happens with that old man ass is it kind of goes straight down. And so do your pants. That's why you see a lot of old men that wear suspenders, because they got to wear the suspenders to keep that old ass up. And maybe I need to start wearing suspenders. Then that way you won't see my crack. Although there's some people out there that seem to enjoy seeing my crack. I don't understand it because, I don't see my crack. But hey, you like to see my crack? Well, by all means, enjoy. Far be it from me to not give the people what they want. So what I learned or thought I would do, so the last time I did a floor, you use rosin paper as an underlayment to help keep the moisture and stuff out up under the floor. And so I've had a roll over here for a couple of years that I keep forgetting about every time I do another floor. So what I did was I made like a paper towel rack on steroids. So it's underneath here hanging a roll of rosin paper. So when I come up here to glue something up, I can pull the paper up and then I can keep my workbench clean. When I'm done, cut that piece off and get me a new one for the next go round. So if I paint Joe Barty's and stuff, I don't have to get it messy. See, that's called learning. And we'll see if the New York Giants learn anything after going through what they've been through. So, tomorrow, after being clamped up all night, we'll go through with this bad boy. We'll sand it out. We'll edge sand it. We'll square it up. And we'll brand it. And then we'll get it shipped out. Whew. Other thing. You can never have too many clamps in a workshop. We have oak, walnut, cherry, maple, and mahogany all in here. So that's what we got. I'm Mark Holmes, and well, hope you're having a great day.